Hey, what's up? It's Heelys, and today I just got back from One Piece Day competitor, so we'll talk about that. There's a lot to talk about One Piece Day. There's good, there's bad, there's ugly. But before we can even talk about One Piece Day, I just want to talk about, I guess, how things were done um, before. So if you signed up for it, however you got through it, play TCG, or if you did it through the Bandai app, the way it was done, I don't feel like it was communicated very well. Like, competitors didn't know, I feel like, until it was too late if they could bring anybody. I can't find any information. Like, I saw it once, but I can't find it anywhere on if you could bring guests, um, or like if you're a competitor for Saturday, if you had a weekend pass. I don't feel like they fully communicated it. I know I found out eventually. I got the information eventually, but I can't even find, like, I'll go and try to dig through those emails, try to find them right now. But if I do find them, I'll post them up here. But I couldn't find them anywhere. I just saw them once. They disappeared, almost like a Snapchat. Um, that information wasn't clear. I know they put out some information about pre-registering, and if you pre-register, you got what you get for entry for One Piece Day. So I found that. I don't know where I found it at again, but that was cool because it's like on Friday. You come in, you pre-register, you get the bonuses, which I guess helps them with lines, which I do applaud them for that because you want to mitigate as much lines as possible. And I know that's what they've learned from, regionals, because I know their big partner would Play TCG, and those are the people that were running the regionals. So I know they adapted that from them. I'm not too sure if Bandai or if they both were cahoots, or they both planned it out, or if Play TCG just did the regional side and our pre-regional side, and Bandai did the other side because there was two buildings. But on the way there, I find out that if you pre-register, and I'm pretty sure this is for all pre-registers. If you're gonna pre-register, they want you to submit your deck then and there. Which I've been playing my Red Purple Luffy, so I was solid. The only thing is I did want to add, because I've seen a lot of people have success with to die for, and it was actually really good whenever I was playtesting it. So I wanted to just add those in and get my cards, and I was doing that on the drive there. But the people who got there earlier, like 11, they were telling in Discord and text messages, they were saying how long the lines were. They even said somebody passed out, but because of the heat. But I couldn't verify it, or I didn't even ask about it when I got there. Um, but when I got there at 3 p.m., there was no lines. Basically, I was able to walk straight to where Pod C was, which wasn't displayed. They had like Pod A and Pod B, but Pod C wasn't there. But I asked, and they were able to get me to the right area. Now, I noticed because I came with my family, and they got in through the general admission, which which was funny because I feel like the competitors didn't get the same thing that general admission got. Like, I didn't get the promo Luffy, the 10 drop one, not the Rush, the purple one, the vanilla. I didn't get that in my bag, and then I also didn't get wristbands, which in the information that I received, I believe I was supposed to get 2 wristbands as a competitor, because if I was in the 2v2, then the person that was my partner, if I wanted to choose a partner, they would have had to come through the wristbands. And that's the one thing I wanted to make sure, because one of my friends had the 2v2, He wasn't able to make it, and I was just wondering, like, hey, if he needed to take somebody or if he needed to carpool with them, and they were his 2-on-2 partner, could he do it? But I think for the competitors, you had to ask for the wristbands, or you had to have the people with you there when you were getting your wristbands. It wasn't communicated, because that's what a few people were saying, like, hey, I walked up there with my friends, and then they gave us they gave us wristbands as well. But for sure, the general admission, those got 2 wristbands. Those got the promo cards, and I think they also got like the circle stamp, hole punch. Now, with that all aside, I didn't even notice that until I got back to my hotel, which was a really nice hotel. The event was at Fairpoint in Dallas, which is it's not like a convention center. It's like 2 halls outside, almost like a like, I guess, like a convention center outside, but it was definitely different. I haven't seen a place like that in Houston, or if I have, I don't remember it. But the hotel was Omni, which was 10 minutes away from Fairpoint. Really nice, had a nice pool, because I had to get in that pool and relax and just like get my mind off of One Piece, off of Lines of Play, and just fully relax and have fun with the family. Then right after that, also 7 restaurants inside of Omni. Well, I think like 6 are outside and 1 inside, but they're like not far away. So I was able to grab food, go to the room, hop on the sim, get some practice in. The one thing about the sim practice was really not great, because it was the OPO 10 is now in the Western meta. It's a little bit ahead of schedule, but it's there, and a lot of people are practicing stuff that you definitely not going to see, or things that are only like viable, or they're like, oh, I can add this card in and now play Grape Dofi, or you see a lot of those OPO 10 cards in there. I did get to play a Blackbeard, which is a match that I did want a lot of practice. Like, I think normally in Texas, Black is dominant, so I wanted to see Lucci's, I wanted to see Blackbeards, I wanted to play against Doflamingos. Those are the matchups that I thought were I was gonna see all over the convention. The Shanks. I didn't really need to practice the Shanks. I feel like Red Purple Luffy is really strong into Shanks, just because he can out big body him quicker. So I didn't really want to practice those matchups, but I'm hopefully see those the next day. I got a good practice in, and I actually went to bed at a decent time at 11. I think last regionals I ended up going to bed at 2, 3, just cramming practice, trying to cram practice, doing well in the practice. But I was like, this time I'm gonna get some rest. I'm gonna not stress. I'm gonna try to not be as nervous as I was at my first offline regionals. This was like my second one, so I was like, let me go here. Let me try to have some fun. Like, not try to stress over winning too much, and end up going to the convention, like getting a good night's sleep, going to the convention center at 9:30. The event was at 10:30. I see a few guys from my locals, Spuds, and they're shouting out to us like, hey, what's up? Hey, we have this QR code. If you want to buy some product, you gotta scan this code and get a time slot. So I really just wanted an illustration box, because they had exclusive cards there. And I don't know if you ever seen my deck before, but I always like to have one of each art, or like like if there's only two different arts, I like to split it 2-2. But if there's four, I like to have all four in there. It kind of just helps me um, like count how many. Oh, I'm still missing SP Zoro Zoro, or I'm missing participation Zoro Zoro. He could be, he could be in my deck, or I've already seen two. It just helps me, and I also just like how it looks, because it looks like I'm playing unique card, like a whole unique deck. So I definitely wanted that illustration box just in case I ever want to play yellow or black. But I was sitting there scanning for like 45 minutes trying to get a time slot, and I was choosing 6 o'clock because I was competing that day. So I was like, at worst around 6 o'clock, it should be close to be over, and then I can hop over and buy some product. But again, communication wasn't exactly what it was, and then there was a lot of people talking and spreading information. Don't know how much of it was accurate, but we were hearing that the people who got there early, they didn't have a cap on boxes and on products, so they were able to buy out a lot of it. And I heard people while I was in the tournament saying like around 12 that they were sold out, but then I hear other people like at 3 there's more product, and every hour there'd be like a refresh of product. Because I would hope that you go to the event and they're selling product and they have time slots to 6 p.m. that they're properly planning out that, hey, there'll be some product at 6 p.m. Why have these time slots if you're gonna do that? But I wasn't even worried about that. I didn't really care. I have a lot of products, have a lot of cards, so I didn't. It was more of a want and less of a need. So after like 30 minutes to 40 minutes of like sitting there trying to scan, and it was cold. It's crazy how it was hot the next day, but this is Texas weather, mostly Houston weather. I expected. I didn't really expect that in Dallas, but it was hot, and then all of a sudden it was cold. And I did bring a jacket, but we went after sitting there 40 minutes trying to scan, trying to continuously get a 6 o'clock appointment, and it like timing out. I just gave up. Went to the event, and there are like tons of people in there. We're looking around. I'm walking over to Podsy, and only one of my friends from the locals was able to get in there, and also got to Podsy, so he was playing Shanks too, and he was just like, "Oh man, I hope I dodge you, because Red Purple Luffy is a bad matchup for him. He's playing Shanks." So we ended up like just playing a practice game. He's like, "Man, let me see if I can win." And while he's playing a practice game, I'm just looking around, and I see a few YouTubers there. Definitely, the first one that I noticed, and he was sitting in Pod C, was the Heart Pirates, Heart TCG. He was there, and I was like, "Oh man, we actually got somebody, a YouTuber in our pod." I didn't want to walk up to him because he was like, I don't know, doing trades, or he was like looking at cards and stuff. But we were also in the middle of practicing, play testing, and I ended up winning that game. And like as soon as we end that game, they come out on the speakers, and it's time to play in the tournament. And this was the time. This was what we were ready for. We announce our round 1. I get paired into a Blackbeard, and I'm ready. I'm prepared. I feel like my deck is really good against the Blackbeard, and I end up winning. I do get to play the To Die For on turn 3. He does his leader ability. I think I play a Zoro Joro. I get a lot of ramp out, and I get to play out like a Shanks before his 8 Dawn turn, his 10 Dawn turn. I got out another big body, so he was just on the defensive from there. And I really went aggressive. Didn't really even focus board. I just knew I had my Dawn. I had my ramp cards. I had cards that he couldn't stop, and I just had those big bodies out there, and I was just pushing hard. Ended up just beating him quickly. I mean, even though I beat him quickly, he still was able to play two Blackbeards, slowed the match down. But it was a really good game, and I felt really good after it. Um, so I had my head up, ready to go, and then we go into our next matchup, which was BY Luffy. Now, the BY Luffy matchup, I'm not too familiar with because in my area, not too many people play the BY Luffy, and I knew BY Luffy could be a thing or would be a thing because that won the last regionals. So I figured a lot of people would pick up that BY Luffy, but nobody locally did. So when I played the BY Luffy, there's only two ways I know to play it. Get them down to 2, build bodies, and attack, or if you have like Nika Luffy or Roger, kind of get him down early before he can set up, and then hit him with the Nika and take his 9k power away, or make him unable to block. But in that case, that didn't work out. He was able to establish Kuzans. I didn't get the pressure that I wanted to. Well, he was able to establish Kuzan and blockers, and I wasn't able to remove him. And he just slowed the game down and took it at his pace, and slowly just dwindled me down and took me for that game too, which still didn't feel bad. I was 1-1, good matchup, and we go into our round 3, which was a total surprise because there was like a red-purple mirror match around 2 close to me, and then this is a red-purple mirror match again, and I'm like, man, how many people are playing red-purple Luffy? We play the match out. It's a really quick match. I get to ramp. I ramp really quick, and I think I might even get it. No, yeah, I ramped really quick. I had all the cards that I wanted to see, and I it was just straight gas on the red purple Luffy, and he had to defend himself, and he couldn't. And I also went first, won the dice roll. He ended up having to use Gum Gum Giants at 6 Don. It was really bad for him. And then we go into our Dofi matchup, and I'm scared because I'm thinking 1-1 lost 1, 1-1 lost 1. This is what I'm thinking, and I see the Dofi, and I'm like, I prepare my deck for the Dofi, and I've practiced against another Dofi who beats me because he plays Red Rocks, but because Red Rock isn't popular, I feel even more confident playing against him, playing against this Dofi player, and I play him. And I get a perfect hand. I get to go second. Yeah, I go second, but I still am able to ramp and like eliminate his pressure. And I get basically the perfect hand. I think like we double ramp again. We play the Shanks down. We play the kid down. And we play another Shanks down, and it's just nothing he can do from there, because even when he's loading up Don, I'm just throwing 1Ks, and like I'm just throwing 1K counter. He can't ever swing into me, and I'm like a healthy two life the whole time. I'm able to counter out, and we're just there's nothing he could do. We could just slowly take his board out and swing at his life and window him down and get that Dofi win. Now feeling really good, 3-1, 3-1, feeling like top 16, top 16. And then we go and we get another RP Luffy mirror match. Now the RP mirror match, I decided to go first. I find out that like while I'm playing him, so I go first. I get my six swing out. He takes. He gets a ramp out of life. I drop the Zoro Joro down. It's his turn. He plays Bon Clay. Swings. I think I counter. I attack again. Um, I attack again. My turn. Throw two down on Zoro Joro. Swing. He ramps again off of life. And I ramp. I think I play. I forget what I play here, but it was not something aggressive. It may have been like a blocker or something, because I didn't have like the Bon Clay to answer his Bon Clay. And on his turn, he ends up dropping Big Mom, and from there the game was over. Those ramps out of trigger just put him where he needed to be faster than what I needed to be. So I couldn't even play a big body because he had me on the ropes, and then he also had a Bon Clay. So if I played the big body, he still gets a big swing off of it, and he ends up winning that. Not saying not off of skill, but definitely luck was not in Lady Luck was not in my favor, off of those triggers that he was getting. And he also was like, yeah, I designed my deck to go second. He had the lead performers. He had he was prepped to go second, so everything was kind of just in his favor, for sure. And after that, we go into a BY Luffy matchup. The BY Luffy, I decided to go a little bit slower on that one, but again, just not seeing, not being able to get rid of his blockers, and he was able to just block up, and just take control of the game. I wish I've practiced the BY Luffy matchup more. I think I might have made some changes in the deck, seeing how many BY Luffys were there. In fact, just talking with everyone at that point, like after losing that match, I think I when I was talking to everybody, and they were like, "Where are the Dofis at? Like, there are no Doflamingos there at all. Like, they're there, but like nowhere compared to how many BY Luffys, how many Shanks. There were so many Shanks there, tons of Shanks everywhere. But after that, we played. I played a Bonnie, which is one of the worst matchups. In fact, I think I seen more Bonnies than I saw Doflamingos. There was tons of Bonnies. I seen mirror matches of Bonnies. They were all over the place. It's one of my worst matchups. And that one I tried to, I definitely was able to ramp. I even got the double ramp off of the To Die For after they played their Cavendish. But I just couldn't. I was able to build board, or at least build a Shanks, a Kid out, and I had another. And I think I had another big body out, maybe like Roger. I had a Roger out, and I think he popped the Roger with the Shanks, and then after that, he just ended up locking me down with a 10-drop Doflamingo back to back to back, where I didn't have any more big bodies, and I couldn't attack. And he ended up just slowly attacking me and getting that game, which is what you can say about Bonnie. It's how it plays. If they have the Doflamingos when they need them, it's just kind of hard to beat them. And at that point, definitely was feeling discouraged, but I was like, I need to go positive. Like, I need to end this 5-4 for sure. And I end up, after playing that Bonnie, playing a Robin, and I just didn't have the hand. I had the ramp, but I had no monsters, no characters, no nothing to play. So he ends up establishing bodies. I ended up defending myself. I had enough to defend myself, but he ends up like healing and just he was able to play Yamato after Yamato after Yamato and Big Mom and Big Mom, and I just had nothing to answer it with, which it would have been a whole different story if I had a character, but also with him swinging banishes on the Yamatos and banishes on the Robin, I wasn't able to get anything out of life, and most of those everything I needed in life was in life. So that was a rough game. I ended up dropping after that. I know for a fact I should have stuck around and played that last one, but I just knew like a game of leagues or playing ranked leagues, and you're in that area where you have hit loss after loss after loss, and you're trying to play that last one for a win. You end up getting a loss, or even Marvel Rivals. You know, just there's a point where it's like, just stop now, just stop now. Was where I was at. I didn't feel too bad. Definitely played a lot of like I got a lot of Robin practice because I have a friend who plays Robin, but definitely didn't expect to play those decks. Only played one Dofi, only played one Blackbeard. I was hoping to see some Luchis. I was expecting it because it was a black meta, but I realized that this isn't a Texas event. Yes, it's in Texas, but it's not it's more closer to a world regionals because so many people came from everywhere, and that's what I ended up talking to a lot of people, and you know I played some guys from Vegas, played some guys from Nebraska, and I just realized that I should have not hyper focused on the Texas meta, even though I kind of was focused on that before One Piece Day was announced, because One Piece Day's kind of just dropped out of nowhere, and going to the last regionals and whatnot and seeing how it was. So definitely have some ideas. Definitely thinking about putting the 9-drop Big Moms in there. I know a lot of people are already probably on it, but I see how the meta is evolving, not just with like the BY Luffy's, because those kind of go away. Maybe not in 10, and I think maybe in OPO 10 I can kind of keep it the way it is, just depending on how big BY Luffy is. I think the EB meta where we have these a bunch of these 5-drop green, blue, green, purple Luffy's, and it also helps against the purple matchup, even though I feel like my deck was strong against the purple matchup. That's another thing I practiced for, was the purple Luffy's. I didn't see any of those at all. Like, I just knew one guy who was playing it, but I didn't see those around at the table at all. So the matchups that I thought I was gonna play, the ones that I knew I didn't get, which is my deputy, or like, you know, that was on me for not thinking about the BY Luffy who just won regionals. Like, you know, find somebody and you know, play them over and over. That is definitely my take from it, but it was good. That's the one thing I want to say. The play TCG, they did so many regionals that it was smooth. It was next round after next round. They were able to move players around. They had a perfect amount of judges. I almost felt like there was a judge at every table, even though there wasn't. There was definitely a judge nearby, if not. Even though I didn't even see any judge being called, but everything was smooth. Even the way they had the pod for like the videos where they had the selected matches. Those were like in a good area. They had it roped off, so after you finish your match, if you want to go watch one of the selected matches, you could. They definitely were like on point when it came to like the competitive side. And when I left, I met with the family, and they were in the middle of the scavenger hunt, and I'll put that up so you guys can see it, and the prizes. Now, the way the prizes worked was you were able to collect a total of 9 points total. Like, so when you first look at the flyer, you see 9 points, and I think, oh, like if you complete this scavenger hunt, you get everything on the prize side. But that's not how it was. It was more like they have like a ticket system. These bottom tier are worth 3 points. These middle tier are worth 6 points, and the top tier is worth 9. So if you do the whole scavenger hunt, you get 9 points, and you can get 10 shank sleeves, which to me, I didn't feel like it was worth doing it for 10 shank sleeves. Now, if it was 70, if it was 60, even if it was 50, enough to make a deck, I think it would have been worth it. Do those, like, I definitely would have pushed for getting those. But I think I just went for the promo pack, because you also had to have a badge to do it. So even though my kid did do it, he had to use my stamp, and also because he didn't really care about it. Of course, I let him choose first, and he was like, "What are you get?" And I was like, "Well, I think you should get the promo pack because you can pull something good from it, and the exclusive Luffy card." Now, they had 2 exclusive Luffy cards and 3 points, but they were sold out of, I believe, the vanilla, and all they had left was the Luffy that wasn't hollow, and I didn't know that at the point, and I guess that's why it was at the bottom. It was just the promo Luffy that's 2 cost. Now, he ended up getting that in the promo pack, ended up pulling the Uta out of the promo pack. After that, they were telling me about the day they did the concert. They did the whole, they had the whole experience. She was able to get into line and at 3 o'clock because some slots opened up. I guess people dropped once they found out that they were sold out of like specific things. People dropped out and those slots opened. So she was able to get in there, get an illustration pack. After that, they were telling me about the experience. We ended up going back to the hotel, and as soon as I'm on my way to the hotel, they announced what we already knew. And I felt like they were gonna announce it. And I say we already knew, like they were hinting towards it. We already saw the progress map, and we saw that they were releasing product 2 months. Are so close together, and the OPL 13 wasn't in December, it was in November, so I could see them inching it together. We also knew that the starter decks came out, that was leaked, that the starter decks came out, we thought was the same day Japan gets it, but we actually get it, that's what we learned from the announcement, that we get the starter decks before them, which I don't understand why not the same, but I guess it's just a stick it to you, haha, we finally get something before y'all kind of deal. But the worldwide release was announced, and of course, like I said, I wasn't excited for it because I knew it. This was just like confirming something that everybody who follows One Piece knew already, or kind of knew. But I guess it was great to just get it out, and I felt like they had to get it out because people already saw the leaked photos. But that was the big news. I don't want to sound like a hater on that, but yeah, it was just like, oh yeah, not a surprise for me. But I get to the hotel, and then our buddy who lives in Dallas, he decides, hey, let's go grab something to eat and go to a card shop and play. which I was totally down for. I think another thing, like I said, miscommunication, because people who were pre-registering, who had the competitor badge, they asked like, "Hey, I have a Sunday time slot. Can I come Saturday?" And they were told no, that they were turned around. Or even people, I think they came early. And this is also like hearsay. Like I hear some people saying this, I hear some people saying that, but my buddy who lives in Dallas, who has a Sunday pass, the people that go to his store, they were either turned around or they were told that no, they couldn't come in even though they were a competitor, but because they had like a Sunday time slot. And I told them that's not true, because they said that, you know, we have like, you have a weekend pass if you have a competitor badge. So he was kind of turned off about that. He ended up going over, because like when he came to pick us up, before he came to pick me up, since I'm 10 minutes away, he went and he stopped by and he looked around, and he wasn't too excited about what they had on the non-competitive side. And I'll talk about that when I get there. Also, you can kind of see, and I'll point out the competitive side whenever I put up the little map for the treasure hunt that we had there. But he went through, and it was basically, for him, there was nothing there, and he was basically disappointed. And I totally understand, because I've been to conventions, and the best conventions have things that keep you active, keep you there. Because if you have a general admissions pass, and I guess I'll talk about, let me stop right there. He was just disappointed. And he was so disappointed that he didn't even want to go to the competitor side. After we got food, we were playing. He was like, "Yeah, I don't even know if I'm gonna go tomorrow." And then he lives 40 minutes away. I don't know if that added to it, but he definitely was feeling bad about going back there. He didn't have any confidence in it. But we ended up playing. I actually had some good like practice games, and playing it out at their card shop. Their card shop looked very nice. I think it's like Cards and Connections or something like it was called, something like that. If I find it, I'll put it up as well. Nice shop, good area to play with. They didn't give us anything about just coming in and playing. We did buy my friends did buy some like card sleeves and stuff like that, but it was definitely a nice shop. And got home, went to bed, and just woke up, no rush. And we got to the convention center maybe like at 10:30, and I was looking at like how it was empty. I mean, it wasn't. I expected more people to be there for like 11 o'clock. I saw the manga area. The manga area looked really cool, but the only thing about it was right next to the stage, and the stage looked deceptively small, because I've only seen that stage from like the live stream. Like I was peeking in at the announcement. That stage looked huge. And I kind of saw some of the concert, like it looked huge, looked big. Like I had no idea where it was, and when I saw where they had the concert, and like I think they had maybe like 20-30 chairs set up there. I was just astounded. I was like, the camera work on that is amazing, because that looks like a very small stage. I didn't go to the concert, so I didn't get to see the concert, but they did show like while I was there. Or I'm getting ahead of myself. The first thing we do is we go over and scan to get a line in position to buy some stuff. Now, the Illustrator box that we have here isn't the one that she bought. She bought it, she opened it, and so I wanted one as well. I think she gave me the promo cards, but I'd like to have 2 of those Lucci's, 2 of those of those Bonnies. So I was like, let's see if we can get in line again. And I scanned, and there was nothing for after 3 p.m. till 6. And I don't think I was planning to stay there past 3 or 6. I had to drive back to Houston and work in the morning on Monday. So I was scanning, and then she scanned, and then there was 11 o'clock that popped up, which was very lucky because a lot of people who scanned, they had to wait 2-3 hours before they can get in line. So she booked at 11 o'clock. She got in line, and while she was in line, I took my kid and we were looking around. There was like a demo area to learn how to play the One Piece game, and I was like, hey, like, while we're doing nothing, let's you want to do the demo. He is interested in Katakuri. He loves Katakuri. He loves Snake Man. So the OP11 said he's like looking forward to play. We built him an Enel deck. He also likes Enel as well. We're able to put the Katakuris in there and kind of make it to where he liked it. He liked playing it, and he had nobody his age to play with. So I was like, maybe you learn how to play. Maybe you could teach your friends. We have some, like, we get the demo decks, and they were giving the demo decks away. It was a Zoro leader, basic starter deck 1 and OPO1 cards in there to teach you how to play. And the guys were very informative. The way that they were going to do it was, since I knew how to play already, he was going to have me and him like kind of like demo it next to them and then show them how to do it. But I think another guy came in and they set him down there, so he wasn't able to do it that way, and he ended up teaching my son and this other guy how to play. And the guy that I played against, or the guy that was across from me, he already knew how to play a little bit. He was like a beginner, like beginner locals, it looked like. And it just looked like he was trying to get some cards or whatever, because he already knew where to put the Don, and he already started shuffling. He put the Don deck in front of me. He put the deck in front of me to cut. So I was like, okay, I'll play him. And I was like, oh man, I'm going a little too hard. Let me dial it back or whatever. And I let him wipe my board and almost win and end up like winning with the Luffy that you add to Don and swinging at him. So I tried to give him a good match. Definitely that way he can kind of learn the game, and hopefully he sees like he kind of played this way too, or whatever. I also didn't want to lose. I'm not gonna lie. I lost too much the day before to take another loss, but I ended up teaching him. We got the demo decks, and then we saw this like little YouTube area where they had they called it the YouTube area, and they had like a section set up with like boxes, and we could grab, and they'll take pictures of us and whatnot. So I have a few of those. It might be the thumbnail for this video, like, or one of the thumbnails for the video, for sure. They had like a little gotcha ball area, which had like a line there, and they had like a whole bunch of gotchas there, but I didn't want to wait in line. And then by the time we got out of that, the wife was there with the illustration box, and we had saw everything. I think on the main stage they were showing the English episode, which motivated me because they're already at Egghead. Like, I think they're almost caught up, so I'm like, I should go back and watch Wano all the way up to Egghead to catch up, or not to catch up, just to to rewatch. That way when it comes out, we're ready and we're like, all our knowledge is back to where it should be. And we decided, hey, let's go to the Plano store, because this is like the legendary One Piece store. Let's go out there and see what they have. And we drive over there. It's like 30 minutes north, which is 30 minutes away from, or 30 minutes the opposite of where we need to go home. So we're adding time. But we ended up going out there, and to my surprise, like, I was looking, like, I always Googled the One Piece store to like see what it looks like, and they show it, and it looks like it was like a mall. Like it looked like it's inside of a mall, but I didn't know it was inside of a grocery store, a Japanese grocery store, or I don't want to say Japanese. This is an Asian grocery store, and basically everything that you see in that photo, and I'll also post my photo, is the One Piece store. Like, it's not something you can actually like go into. It's more kiosk like, and they had product there. They didn't have too much. I didn't expect them to, but they did have like an OPO 7 box, OPO 8. Now OPO 8 is still in my area. You can kind of still buy a box at 107, but OPO 7 surprisingly is that 150, 160 mark in our range for like the few stores that do have it. So I was like, let me go ahead and buy an OPO 7 box. And I ended up pulling some good stuff. It was a 3-hit box. We ended up getting that Ace, that Basil Hawkins altar. I think it's so sick. It looks so sick. Don't like the character at all, but that definitely looks sick. And Kid, one of my favorite SPs. I don't know why it looks so sick to me. I don't know why they like doing Kid like that. They like to show him like beaten down, but I like him because he gets back up no matter what. He gets back up, right? So I ended up pulling something good. And they also had the gacha machines there, so I was kind of glad we didn't use them at the convention, because it seemed like they either had more or at least the same amount at the Bandai store. And it wasn't the Bandai store, it was like separate, because it was like there's the Bandai store, Bandai card, it looks like the Bandai card stand, and then across from it is a which looked like a manga bookstore. A few steps over was like the gachas. So it either looks like Bandai bought 3 different parts, or those are 3 different parts and they're not even all Bandai. But we went to the gacha machine and we got so I got JoJo's, my kid did too. He ended up going first, getting a. So I ended up not remembering, but coming back and editing this part in, he got a Giovanni from Golden Wind. That's the one he got. Now back to your regular schedule ranting. But then I got Jotaro. I ended up getting Jotaro, which I know he liked a lot. He ended up getting Jolene. Let's see. We'll get it out of the packaging. For his second one, he got Jolene. And then I went ahead and went to risk it and got, because I really, really love Josuke. You see him in the, I'm not Josuke, Joseph. Joseph is definitely my favorite. And the last pull that I got was Joseph. So we ended up getting, I ended up getting the one I wanted. Some people might say, like, how much did you spend? How long did it take you? It took you 4 tries to get it. But, well, not 4 tries. He went twice, I went twice. So technically it only took me 2 tries. And I ended up getting what I wanted. So I'm really happy about that. Ultimately, also, just to go back to One Piece Day, the drone show got canceled on Saturday because of the rain, and then they pushed it to Sunday at 8 p.m. There's no way, with the time change, that I was gonna be there and try to make it to work in the morning, like at 6 a.m. You know. So I ended up missing out on the drone show. Hopefully they post something on YouTube where I can see it. But overall, I could see like people hating. Like if you had a general admission and you didn't come there for the concert and you didn't come there to shop, you came there for a One Piece experience. There wasn't much. There wasn't much for you outside of the card game. There wasn't any free play areas. You could sit on the ground at the competitive areas in free play and trade. And I'm pretty sure the people who are into the card game that had the GA pass that even signed up for like the side events, because they were constantly doing signups for the side events. You would have to be in line, and they go out quick because I think it's like 64 and 16 or something like that. Yeah, because the 2-on-2 was only eight people, so it sold out. Those sold out pretty quickly. But there were people who got in the GA who were able to play the card game and got into those side events. Those were great, but like I said, if you just came there, if you're a One Piece fan, anime fan, or even a game fan, like they had no game content for you guys to actually play. There was just posters of the games that are already out. Like I think Odyssey just came out, so why not have the demos out there? You're pushing Lim on us. Why not try to make us fall in love with her? I feel like, in fact, the Lim coming out when she came out and not later, when the game is already out and people got to play it and actually like her. I don't understand why you didn't have demos. Why didn't you have even the Roblox game? Set up some iPads, get it locked down to where they can only play the Roblox game. Get us into your content. Have us actually doing something, playing something. Get exclusive in-game skins if you come and play, or maybe even the promos for them. Hey, come play the Odyssey. Get the promo cards. Give us a reason to care about your games. Give us some kind of like event, like where we get like a giant rubber arm, and this is how a Gum Gum Punch would feel. Can you pick up the giant, like can you pick up a long arm, or some kind of activity, some kind of like things for people to do besides just a card game and take pictures and buy, because it was basically just a selling event, which they sold out quickly. Another thing I wanted to add was there was no anime cosplay. They could have had an anime cosplay contest. There was a stage. Just like I said, more stuff for us to engage with. I don't know how they feel about AMV contest, but I know that was one of the big draws when I would go to conventions, is I would enter my AMVs. And I know now and how Photoshop and everything is done, we could have had some really dope AMVs. There was a lot of things I felt like they could do and they can learn from this experience and add to it, because we want to think about, yes, we do want to sell stuff, and yes, you do want to the card game, because that's what's really popular right now. But what other stuff can you provide to people who may be tired of the card game, or just are there because they love One Piece? And maybe they had more stuff, but the rain ruined it. But from what it looked like, it just was like, here's the stage. Like if you had a general admission, go buy something, go at the stage and sit there and maybe listen to or try to read manga while we play an episode of One Piece right next to you on speakers, or we'll have a full concert while you're trying to read the manga. So general admission definitely wasn't worth it at all, and I feel bad for people who flew there, unless they had a good time, because you could have had a good time if you wanted to see the concert, if that's what you wanted to do. But definitely not day 2 unless you really want to see that concert again, because they showed the same things that they showed from day 1 and day 2. I think they may have changed the episodes, because there was like some kid episodes, maybe like flashbacks of when Luffy was Ace, is what I was told was shown on the first one, and on the second one was the Lucci Gear 5 fight. So, in English dub. Also, if you hated English dub, you probably hated that. But that's my overall experience. I feel like if you're a competitor, you had a good time. If you got a general admission badge, once you've completed the treasure hunt, and the treasure hunt took you to each one of the stations, so you got to see the station, like you got to see the stuff, but there wasn't, like I said, there wasn't. I don't feel like there was enough to warrant the general admission for people who were flying there. Now I don't know if the badge was free for general admission. Oh, actually, the badge was free for general admission, so I guess that's not bad. But the travel, especially if you're coming out of state, and I guess the cards, they are worth a lot, so I guess you could sell and make some of your money back. But then you're selling your, and if you don't care about the card game, I can see you selling them. I actually know somebody who bought the Utsudan for $10 a piece. They got 10 of them for $10 a piece before Saturday. They got it on Friday, so they made a lot of money. But yeah, that was my experience. It definitely sucks that this drone day wasn't on Sat, or the drones wasn't out on Saturday. I think that may have even flipped my opinion on how great it was. I had a good time at the regionals. You know what I mean? Besides me getting sour after losing so many times. But I definitely did better than I did before. And I guess let me know what you guys think. If you have some different opinions, let me know. We're out.